This offseason, the Philadelphia Eagles have prioritized youth. They are trying to get younger in a lot of positions, and it shows. Now that begs the question, what about all these veterans? And a veteran that really comes to my mind is somebody that is loved by Philadelphia, but the past 2 years been a little bit inconsistent. And looking at the next 2 years, he's making $23 million plus on cap hit. And it is Fletcher Cox. What's the next move for Fletcher Cox? Can this be his last season? Let's talk about it.
Flyers flying on the team, touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and this is Philly the podcast. So before we get into all this, just be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I drop a video. But let's get into this, man. So I saw an article this morning by Jeff McClain stating that the Eagles brass is a little bit concerned with Fletcher Cox. Now, reading into it, at first I looked at it and kind of laughed, like, yeah, Fletcher ain't going nowhere. Then I kind of started reading into it, and the more you read into it, the more you start thinking, maybe it is a possibility. Maybe this is something that they're willing to do. Like I said, Fletcher Cox is scheduled to make north of $23 million for this year and next year. He is contracted through next year. He'll be 32 once his contract is up. I don't want to see Fletcher Cox go, but at $23 million, that is a big number. And if you look at the last 2 seasons, he has been, kind of riddled with injury. He hasn't been as consistent as a lot of us want. Look, obviously, he has to take on a lot of double teams. He is the face of our defensive line, so people, game plan to stop Fletcher Cox. But at the same time, we have a very deep defensive line, and I feel as though he should be performing a little bit better. His numbers should be better. I think it's not crazy to say that he's the second best defensive tackle outside of Aaron Donald. I think that, numbers can prove that. I just feel as though these past 2 years have proven that he is not necessarily taking care of his body like a Aaron Donald. I mean, Aaron Donald comes out and looks like he's 21 every year. And I'm not asking, Fletcher Cox to go out there and change his whole lifestyle. But once you hit a certain age, things got to change. You got to start doing things that are going to help your body and maintain throughout the season. These past 2 years, I haven't seen that from Fletch, and it hurts. When we don't have Fletcher Cox on the field, you can tell. You can definitely tell. You can even just look back to last year, that one game that he was out. We looked like a totally different defensive line, and our defensive line is our bread and butter. So let me just answer the question. No, I don't think that we should let go of Fletcher Cox. No, I don't think this should be his last year. I do feel like we should extend him to lower that cap number. I don't want to see him on another team. If he's going to retire at 32, 33, okay, we'll talk about that. But I think that it's time that we go and sit down with Fletcher Cox and have a serious conversation about his cap hit, because we cannot pay him that at the production level that he's at right now. He's a great player, one of the best Philadelphia Eagle players that I've, had the pleasure of watching. And it hurts to say that he's not worth the money, because on the surface, what he brings to this team, as far as a leader, as far as a face, someone to look at for some of these younger guys on that defensive line, that's invaluable. That's, you can't put a price on that. But unfortunately, you can't put a price on how much you can spend as a team. And spending $23 million on a defensive tackle that isn't in his prime right now is not the smartest thing, in my opinion. So I feel like Philadelphia needs to figure out something with that. my best suggestion would be to go ahead and just extend him. If he wants, talk to him, see where his mind is. If he's thinking, let me stay till like 35, 34, okay, let's extend you. Let's bring down that cap number. Let's make sure you retire as an Eagle. But that $23 million, man, that's a lot of money. We can restructure it right now and I think save like $12 million. But I believe you can save some money, if not the same, probably a little bit less, but around the same number if you were to just go ahead and extend him. So that's my thought. I think just go ahead and extend my guy Fletch, and we'll figure it out. $23 million is just too much money. I don't think that this is his last season. I don't think that he has nothing left in the tank. I know he's been talking about life after football, but that's just that's something that pops in your mind after 10 years, 12 years being in the league. You're going to start thinking about, what am I going to do after this? So I'm not worried about that. And, I think that this guy is going to have a great season. I feel like this defense is really going to help him. And if he doesn't, and we're still paying him $23 million, there's going to be a problem. There's definitely going to be a problem. But you guys let me know what you think. What do you think we should do with Fletcher Cox? I think cutting him is obviously never going to happen. But would you look at possibly trading him next year? Would you look at possibly restructuring him this year or extending him this year? Or are you cool with just paying him the $23 million and letting him run out his contract? You guys let me know in the comments. But other than that, I will be live at 12:30 with my guy Dylan, talking about Atlanta versus the Eagles. We're going to talk a little bit about the Julio trade and everything going on with that. But be sure to be there. Lunchtime live vibes. You know how we get down. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly, Eagles, Fly. And we are out here. Peace!
Yeah. Fly, Eagles, fly. You on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling the Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man soft. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.